The technique of enlightenment is being realistic. Being realistic means seeing things as they really are. But this realism has three aspects. Seeing things as they are means seeing the apparent reality of things. That is, becoming aware of your own awareness. That is, becoming aware of the responses of the sense organs, the eye, ear, nose, etc. That is referred to in Buddhist meditation, in English as mindfulness, in Pali as sati. That is the basic technique of enlightenment, on the path to enlightenment. Then there can be another aspect of being realistic or seeing things as they really are, that is, seeing the actual reality of things. The actual reality of things shows the apparent reality is an illusion, not the actual reality. It seems in a certain way. For example, you can see the moon and the sun as normal plates size. But that is not their real size. You may see a jumbo jet line flying high in the air as a small bird, but that is not the actual reality, but it is only the apparent reality. You see, the sun is moving round the earth. That is the apparent reality. The actual reality is the earth is moving round the sun. Thus, there is a difference between the apparent reality and the actual reality. But both these realities are illusions in the ultimate sense. That means there is an ultimate reality of things. According to Buddha, the ultimate reality is voidness or emptiness. The ultimate reality that the Buddha realized at his enlightenment is called nirvana, and in his own language he referred to nirvana as sunyata. Sunyata means nothingness, void. It is because when one is enlightened, one's mind becomes empty. Empty means empty of its content. Our mind contains thoughts and feelings. We may call them mental images. Thoughts are mental creations, not actual realities. Mentally, we may hear some sound, we may see some figure, we may smell some fragrance, good or bad. We may taste something. Those sensory experiences are actual, But actually they are not real. They are only experiences. All what we experience is nothing but a world of illusions. Our world that we experience is not outside us, but inside us. Now, not only the Buddha, even the modern scientists have realized that. We experience only reflections of the outer world. That means there is an inner world of reflections. Reflections means inner world of mental images. Those images appear real, but actually they are not real. For example, you may see your own image in a mirror, and that image looks exactly like you, but that is not you. That is only an image. That is only a reflection. According to Buddha, all what we experience is created in our sense organs. That is why they are called ayatana. Ayatana in Pali means organizations, institutions. All what we experience are created by our sense organs, inclusive of our mind based on the memories retained in our brain cells. Our mind creates mental images with the help of the images recorded in our brain cells as our memories. They are not actual realities, but reflections of actual realities. When you think of your mother, father, or brother, sister, or girlfriend, boyfriend, or husband, wife, etc., you experience the image of that particular person in your mind. That image is created by the experience of the past that you have retained in your brain cells as memories. Therefore, all what we experience are mental images that have been formed in the past. Even the present images we interpret with the help of the past images. When we see somebody, we recognize that person as our father, mother, brother, sister, husband, wife, etc. That is with the help of the past experiences. Our past is dead. It is only a memory. It is only an image, mental image, retained in our mind. Our mind is the hard disk of the computer called the mind, and that hard disk contains data, information that we call knowledge. Therefore, we experience things with the knowledge that we have retained in the dead past. Past is dead, no more there. But in our mind, our past is actual to us, real to us, as our past is here and now. That is our remembrances. And we think or the present things with the help of the past, as I mentioned. That means we interpret present experiences with the help of the past experiences. Therefore, the present experience get distorted by past experience, polluted by past experience. Therefore, we experience polluted images. They are not only polluted, all images in our mind are imperfect, distorted, because those images are created with the help of the sensory experiences, and no sensory organ is capable of knowing the actual nature of anything. That is why we need microscope, telescope, radios, TVs, and so on. Modern techniques. Modern technology helps us to hear things far and far away, to hear things of the past, to see things very far away through Skype, through TV, through computer. We experience many things that are not here and now, that may be very far away, or far away not only in distance but also far away in time. Therefore, throughout our life, we are experiencing not realities. And because of these experiences, we experience not what is real but what is ideal. Whenever we experience in the present moment, our mind gets the help of the past memories to interpret that experience. And we experience it with a certain motive, with a certain target in the unborn future. Therefore, even at the present moment is an actual reality, but in that actual reality, we experience the dead past and the unborn future in our mind. Both are illusions, both are mind-made, both are only mental images, which are illusions. Buddha taught a realistic attitude to life as a technique of enlightenment. First, we have to accept the apparent realities as they are. That is what Buddha taught as a shortcut to nirvana when he talked to the ascetic called Bahya in the Bahya Sutta. In few seconds, he said, Ditte dittamatam bhavisati, sute sutamatam bhavisati, mute, and so on. He said, be aware of your sensory responses. How the eye sees, that is seeing is a response of the eye. How you hear, response of the ear. And accept it only as only a response of your particular sense organs, not a reality. And don't go to think of them. We think of something that we experience, if we like it, dislike it, or we are ignorant of its real nature or the truth. That means our thinking process is based on our likes, dislikes, and ignorance. The Buddha's technique of enlightenment is to see things free from prejudices, that is, having a scientific attitude to things without prejudices, seeing things without prejudices. Our knowledge is nothing but a collection of prejudices. Therefore, experiencing things without prejudice, even the words we use, the labels we use, are prejudices. Being aware of things without labeling them. We label it, and what we label is based on our past experience of the dead past, which are not real at the moment. But we name, this is a tree, this is my mother, this is my father. We identify things and beings. But in reality, there is no being, there is no thing. Nothingness is the ultimate reality. Sunyata, the void, the Buddha realized at his enlightenment. By being realistic. But in the first stage on the path to nirvana, we had to face the apparent realities. How our sense organs grasp things as illusions. For example, when we see somebody, the image of that particular person is created in our eye and we can become aware of that particular image. It is prudent to be aware of it only as a reflection, only as a response of the eye. And its awareness by the mind only as a mental creation with the help of the past images. That is the advice given by the Buddha to the ascetic Bhaya that I referred to earlier. Ditte ditte mattam. See things as only they are. But when we see things as they are, we become aware of not only the apparent reality, but also the actual reality. Things are born in our mind, things are formed in our mind as images, to appear and disappear instantly. Because all images are caused by magno-electrical sparks in our mind. There is sparks. Sparks flare up, explodes, to disappear then and there. They cannot be retained. They appear only to disappear, like lightnings, and these are short lightnings which in our mind. That means we are experiencing an unreality as a reality, that is, an actual reality as an apparent reality. That is the first stage of the path to nirvana, to accept things as they become apparent. Then go into its real nature. What is the actual reality behind everything that you experience? One thing is, they are impermanent because they are born to decay and die instantly. That is what the first disciple of the Buddha called Kondanya, Reverend Kondanya, realize by listening to the Buddha's first sermon called Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta. Buddha himself mentioned in that sutta saying, Atmato Anya Kondanyasa Dhammacakkum Udapadi Yankincha Samudaya Dhammang Sabbantang Nirodhammanti. There arose the eye to see mental images, the psychic eye, to see the mental images in the mind of Reverend Kondanya. Dhamma means a mental image. What a mind experiences, mind is called mano in Pali, and what mind experiences as images is called Dhamma in Pali. Then Buddha said, Yankincha samudaya dhammam sabbanta nirodhammanti. Whatever that get manifested as mental images appear to disappear. That means no mental image can last long. Therefore, one would realize that it is futile, meaningless, to be attached to something that is only apparent, that is an illusion, that appears to disappear instantly. And also it is futile and not wise to resent something. And when there is the awareness of that reality, the mind is free of ignorance. That is the attitude of an enlightened mind. A mind free from likes, dislikes and ignorance. Or a mind free from attachment, resentment and ignorance. We get attached to things that we like. We resent things that we dislike. Scientific attribute. Dittincha anupagamma silava dassaniya sampanno, as said in the Karaniya Sutra. Seeing things without prejudices. Because all our likes and dislikes are based on prejudices. Therefore, Buddhist realistic attitude is a scientific attitude. To accept things as they are. And that is called Yatha Labha Santutti, the capacity. Seeing things as they are called Yatha Bhuta Jnana Dassana. Here, Jnana Dassana means, Jnana means knowledge. Seeing things with the help of the knowledge. Knowledge means, as I mentioned earlier, past memories. Because what we experience through our sense organs, we can recognize only with the help of the knowledge called past memories. That is the first stage. Then second stage, I said, every mental image is born to decay and die. That is impermanency. Impermanency means mental images are getting changed every moment. That is why the Greek philosopher Heraclitus is reported to have uttered, no one can step into the same river twice. When you grasp something mentally, we can't grasp the same thing mentally again because it has vanished. Even our body, not only the mind. When you touch the body once, we cannot touch the same body the second time because the body has changed. Atoms have changed. Electrons have changed. Subatomic particles have changed. Cells have changed. The body has changed. The body that we touch is only an instant body. That is the actual reality of things. Buddha referred to it as the transformation of energy. Buddha referred to energy, the universal energy, as anicca, translated as impermanence. Impermanence is not a thing. but a creativity, universal creativity. The force behind it, the universal energy. Energy is not a thing, but a creativity. Creativity means changing things, transformation. Therefore, the universal energy gets transformed constantly. And the transformation of universal energy and the transformation of universal creations is referred to by the Buddha as dukkata. Dukkata is nothing but the transformation of the universal energy and its creations. Therefore, Buddha said another reality of the apparent world is anatmata, soullessness. Nothing can retain a permanent identity. The same river cannot be touched twice, stepped into twice. That shows the impermanence of the things and that the non-availability of a permanent identity called atta. Atta means the soul. Everything is impermanent, in a state of transformation and unable to retain a permanent identity. Once you realized it, not as knowledge, not as an idea, but as an actual reality that happens within you. Not as an idea. Idea you have to believe, but you are not believing, but you see the actual reality. Then ultimately what happens? You realize the ultimate truth of everything. What is the ultimate truth? What is the ultimate reality as I mentioned? Nothingness. Sunyata. What is sunyata? Nirvana. Realization of nirvana means realization of the actual reality called emptiness or voidness or nothingness. It is associated with the disappearance of likes, dislikes and ignorance. Ignorance of the actual reality disappears. Along with that, when you see the actual reality, attachment through liking disappears, resentment through dislike disappears, then such a mind is free from raga, dosa, moha. Raga can be translated as attachment, dosa as resentment, and moha as ignorance. Ignorance is metaphorically compared to the darkness. Stated as darkness, darkness is not being able to see. Ignorance is not being able to see. That means the mind is in the darkness. Enlightenment means illumination of the mind. That means seeing the mind as it is. Our mind is covered by the jungle of thoughts and feelings. It's a dark mind where the reality at the basis of the mind is covered by thoughts and feelings. Enlightenment, according to the paean of joy, the first paean of joy of Buddha, is called Visankara Gatam Chitta. The mind becomes free of thoughts, as mentioned in the first paean of joy uttered by the Buddha after enlightenment, where he said, thought ceased to get formed in my mind at the enlightenment. That means mind became empty. That is why the nirvana is referred to as emptiness, called sunyata. That is the ultimate reality that one can realize. Before that, as I mentioned, we have to become aware of the apparent reality. Then, through insight, see the actual reality, anicchata, dukkhata, anattata, impermanency, transformation, and non-retainability of an identity. Then the mind becomes free of likes, dislikes, and ignorance. That means nothing but enlightenment. Enlightenment is called ragakkaya, dosakkaya, mohakkaya in Pali. Ragakkaya means extinction of attachment through likes. Dosakkaya means extinction of resentment through dislikes. Mohakkaya means extinction of the ignorance of the reality. And that is called enlightenment. Seeing things as they actually really are. That is the ultimate reality called nirvana. That is why in the Margandhi Sutta, a discourse that you get in the Kuddaka Nikaya of Sutta Nipata in the Buddhist canon, in the Sinhala Sutta Nipata or the Tripitaka Jayanti series, it comes in page 264. There, when the parents brought their daughter called Margandhi, a beauty queen, to be given in marriage to the Buddha, Buddha said that he doesn't like even touching that heap of excreta and urine, the filth. It's a filthy bundle. That is the actual reality of the beauty queen that the Buddha could see. Buddha's words are given in the Sutta Nipata at page 264 in the Buddha Jayanti Tripitaka, saying, Kime vidam mutta karita punnam padapinam sampusitum naiche. I don't feel like even touching this heap of excreta and urine, the filth, even with my feet. That is the actual reality of a beauty queen that an enlightened one could see. This shows our mind is not realistic, but it is being realistic is the path to enlightenment. Therefore, Buddhism can be called realism, not idealism. All other religions refer to an ideal heaven, ideal kingdom of God, ideal emancipation. They are not real but only ideal. But in our day-to-day life, we have been guided and we are being guided by our ideals that we have formed with our knowledge that we have gathered in the dead past. To escape the bondage caused by our own knowledge, we have to go deep into our own mind, see deeply, that is called through insight, and ultimately see the ultimate reality called Nirvana by enlightenment. And the capacity for enlightenment is inborn in every being.